welcome on in, everybody, to another edition of the WyoNation Roundup. I am your host, Chad Smith. Joining me tonight is Mr. Shea Foster.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And below us there, Mr. Brad Reed.
Hey, guys, how are you?
All right, we're here to talk some football, of course. Your Wyoming Cowboys are 2-1, coming off their first loss of the season to a very good ranked Utah team. I did a solo post-game show, which actually had quite a bit of viewership after the game because it was kind of a late one, of course. But just kind of your quick thoughts on what we saw in the weekend in Laramie against Utah. Shea.
I thought the defense was extremely fast for everything. They put the team in position, and I know it was mentioned that Utah did move the ball on them, but when it came down to it, the defense was able to hold for a really long time. Now, in the third quarter, Wyoming ran a total of 7 plays on offense, so yikes. That's not going to be a winning recipe against a good Utah team. But I'm still really disappointed in the offensive line because I know on the board, Jay Johnson's been taking some hits, but man, that offensive line hasn't put together a total game yet, and it's becoming concerning.
Yeah, and just to comment on that, that's a lot of people were slamming on Johnson in the post-game show. And I said, it doesn't matter what scheme you run when the offensive line can't block anybody. Not his fault per se. He could have done some things, right? We could have done some screens. We could have ran some draws. We could run some slants. Those are things we could have done, but they did not do. So we'll see what this week holds. Brad, what are your quick thoughts about the game versus the Utes?
I have pretty similar thoughts to what you guys said. I think the defense put the team in a terrific position. They were fortunate to catch the Utah kicker on a night where he had the yips. The score definitely would have been a little bit more lopsided in that case because I think he missed like 3 first half field goals or something like that. So
you missed one block.
Yeah. So Utah could have put points on the board because they were moving the football in the first half. It's not like, the defense was forcing them to punt every drive, but they were getting off the field, and that's important. But I think some of what we saw, too, was Utah was just a much deeper team than Wyoming was, especially on the lines. There was probably a point where the defensive line was just getting worn down. But, a team like Utah, they're so talented on the lines, and they have been for a long time, that was probably inevitable. But the Wyoming offense has to be better, and they were horrifically bad. They just could not do anything. So, yeah, there's definitely room for improvement, but, in the time that, since we played Utah, the gap has definitely grown exponentially. So,
yeah, and I'll add one more thing. We've actually had a couple Utah fans chime in with comments on the post-game shows saying they were actually impressed with us. And I'm looking around like, what?
Well, when's the last time Utah was probably held to 3.5 points? It's probably been a hot minute.
Yeah, maybe. They probably did it last year, right, when they were down to their 5th-string quarterback. So they had a little kind of a rough one.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yep. So this week, your Wyoming Cowboys will be making a rare trip to Boulder, where they will take on the CU Buffs. 8 p.m. kickoff in Boulder, national TV, ESPN. The Buffs are coming off a loss last Friday night to the Houston Cougars, who have a couple of former Wyoming transfers on their team, by the way. And, so that's who Wyoming faces this week. They come into this game, last I saw the line, was 13.5-point underdogs in Boulder. So another uphill battle. Just kind of another tough game against a power opponent. So back-to-back weeks against, I guess, both Big 12 teams, right? So kind of 2 Big 12 teams back-to-back now. This Colorado team taking a lot of heat in Denver. with the way they've played and the way Coach Prime has coached. So it's an interesting battle because Colorado is looking at us as a get-right game, and we need a get-right game before our bye week heading into Mountain West play. So we'll start with you this time, Brad. Just your initial thoughts on this game here. Does Wyoming have a chance to win? In your
I think the Cowboys absolutely have a chance to win. I mean, this is, we don't have the Nepo baby and a Heisman Trophy winner over in Boulder anymore. Now, Colorado's got their own little quarterback thing going on where, they're changing their quarterback again this week back to Caden Salter that started the season. This is not the Colorado team of last year, which the Colorado team last year was not really that good either.
True. They won 8 games, I do believe.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a winnable game for sure, but it's not going to be a winnable game unless the Cowboy offense, can figure it out. And that's going to be, putting together a complete offensive line game and getting the run game going and established. So this may all be moot point if those things don't happen. And Colorado probably cover the spread, as it were. So
sure. Yeah. No, and I don't know. I think if we have another game where the offense struggles and the offensive line struggles, it's not a matter of can we fix this? I think it's more of a matter of this is who we are, which would be quite concerning.
Bad.
Now we'll see. I mean, I'm throwing out the Utah game because, again, I said let's not overreact to the Utah game. Let's just make sure everybody's healthy. Oh, and on that note, John Michael Gillenborg, it was not a knee injury. It was a thigh injury, and he is expected to play. But again, right, a thigh that's a big muscle in your leg. And when you're an athletic big guy, how healthy will he be? That is the big question. So hopefully he's okay because they need to involve him more, right? Especially over the middle, some short passing game stuff, which we haven't seen enough of yet. But yeah, a real tough one here. Wyoming really has to get going. Obviously, they scored 10 points against a wretched Akron team. They're terrible. Everybody's scoring points on them. UAB put up 30 on them. Nebraska put up 60 on them. We put up 10. So, I mean, that is a big red flag right there. The offense played pretty well, I think, against Northern Iowa. But again, that's an FCS team. You're not going to see a worse team than that on your schedule the rest of the year. And then obviously against Utah, we didn't get shut out, which was good. Because I was looking up when was the last time we were shut out at home. I had all those tweets ready to go. Thankfully, I didn't have to use them. Your thoughts,
Also,
Shea?
Can I add quick? Kyle
Yeah,
Whittingham is a dick.
Yes, we know that.
Because that garbage time touchdown they punched in, that was a bad beat.
Was a bad beat. Yeah, he knew what the line was. He was trying to cover.
100% did.
Yeah.
Okay, now go.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I thought we were okay at Akron. I was like, all right, we're getting the yips out of the way. The left side of the line might as well have been a picket fence stopping the Laramie River. And then I was like, all right. And then you come back and Nate Geiger against UNI has a fantastic, it was like his PFF, I think was in the high 80s. And I was like, all right, we got it out of the way. But that same game, Rex Johnson was getting slapped around on the right side of the line.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come back and I get the guy, everybody talks about this defensive end at Utah. And I was like, well, to counter that, I watched Chase Johnson lock down a Chris Long against UVA, and same type of thing. So I don't know if it's their headspace, but it's on tape now. Attack Wyoming's tackles and passing downs and just bull rush them. And you're going to mow them over because they haven't proved that they can consistently not. And I think they can do it. But then this is also a challenge to Coach Tripodi. Like, what are you doing to those backups? Why is nobody pressing? And I know Luke Sandy's been playing because I guess Wes King has been hurt. It's not like Wes King is playing bad. He's just not healthy. But maybe you got to start. If it's a struggle, do you start looking at putting Walsh back at tackle and putting Sandy at center if Wes King is healthy? You got to make a move.
Yeah, you got to.
You have
And
to.
I said it in the post-game show, Shea. I said, you got to get your 5 best offensive linemen out there. And that means you have to shuffle people around again. So be it, because you can't play it this way. You're not going to beat anybody with this type of offensive line play.
Yeah, I mean, Wyoming, I think when I was watching the Utah game, I was getting so frustrated because Wyoming's offensive line were laying on the ground every play. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not pancaking? You know, it's very frustrating that it's like they came into the game saying, we're just going to get out of this. We don't want to win. And it was kind of frustrating. And I'm not, maybe, you know, I don't think that was the case, but it's just like they got dejected. They got beat a couple times and they let a couple bad plays define the game.
Yeah, really couldn't get anything going, and it was all hinged on the offensive line. So we'll see what it holds here, but let's take a look at this history between Wyoming and Colorado. It's not good.
Bad.
23-1-3. Now, granted, if you look at these, like pretty much all these games were like in the 1900s and the 1920s, right? So it dates back to 1900. We played quite a bit up until like 1947, right? So pretty much 80%, 90% of these games took place right when I don't even know if you could call it football back then, right? It doesn't really resemble much of the modern sport, obviously. But when you look at the modern era, if you want to call it modern, 71 onwards, we have one real win coming in 1982. I completely forgot about this 2009 game. I thought the 97 game was the last time we played CU. Do you either of you remember this 2009 24-0 loss?
Yeah. Didn't Colorado come out in those like weird like bison colored helmet or the bison helmets that had like the horns on them? And that's what I remember from it.
Oh,
that
maybe.
was during Dave Christensen's like,
That was
like first or second year.
Yeah.
That was his first year because it was Austin Carter Samuel's breakout game because they benched that Benjamin kid.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
And that's kind of where Wyoming took off a little bit because ACS was a super dynamic quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
So
And then I didn't want to talk about this too much, but this 97 game still gets my crawl. Technically, we won because Colorado had a forfeit because they were cheating that season. With,
what? Not
all
Colorado.
kinds of stuff.
Who would have
Yeah,
thought?
Colorado was cheating.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know, I know. Who would have thunk? But that game, if people don't realize, Wyoming was winning. I do believe there was like 3 minutes left. There might have been under 2 minutes left. And all we were doing was running the ball to run out the clock. And then running back Marquise Brigham fumbled the damn ball. Fumbled the ball.
Yep.
Oops.
I was going to look up the box score to see, but I do believe it being like with like 2 minutes left in the game. So if any one of you want to fact check that.
I think Wyoming had a double-digit lead in that game.
Oh, yeah, they had a big lead, and then Colorado just kept coming back, and then it looked like we were going to hold on, and then boom, fumble.
Luckily,
and I know Marquise Brigham is on the right. He still is like really upset about that to this day when interviews you see with him. So,
well, if you want to rewatch it, the entire game's on YouTube.
Oh, fun!
Good.
Fun. Well, can you check out when that fumble is for us? Maybe when does he fumble? I still remember being in shock. Like, what? You did what?
Colorado.
I mean,
yeah, kicked a field goal with 3 seconds left.
Yeah, to win the game.
But they never had a double-digit lead. They kind of went back and forth, honestly.
Okay.
And Brigham actually had a fourth quarter touchdown. So.
Oh yeah, he played really well until he fumbled the damn ball.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
so Wyoming
like
is
the Janae
only,
Jackson pump fumble.
Yeah, so Wyoming's only beaten Colorado once in Boulder, once in their history, and that was in 1982. So again, this is going to be a tough battle. I think the big thing for me is I just want us to play good football on both sides of the ball. I'm pretty convinced that the defense is going to show up, but you can't let them be on the field for 75% of the game, right? Against anybody. It's not a recipe for success. The offense is going to have to do just enough to give the defense a rest. to make this a game. So I could see it being a game, but Colorado is under a lot of pressure. Coach Prime is locally. There's a lot of questions, right? They're changing their quarterback. But the good news for us, Wyoming fans, is Colorado's rush defense is absolute garbage.
So is their pass defense. Delaware had like 380 yards passing against them.
Yeah, but they're giving up like 250 yards a game on the ground. So if Wyoming can't run the ball against CU, I don't know if we're going to be able to run the ball against anybody. Even though they do have, remember, Prime just thought he could just hire all these, NFL all pros to be coaches. Warren Sapp is their defensive line coach.
I was going to say, isn't Warren Sapp on that team?
And then, their running backs coach is Marshall Falk. Yeah. And they don't stop the run and they can't run the ball. So it's quite funny.
Listen, you can be good at playing football. It doesn't mean you're good at coaching it.
Yeah.
For sure. But no, they're good at recruiting, I'm sure. So let's get this up here.
I can't even imagine how bad of a coach Warren Sapp is, actually.
Here we go. So I wanted to come down here. This is where it really concerns me, right? So through 3 games, Wyoming is 120th in the country in scoring offense. I mean, why can't we? Why? We've had terrible offenses for like 20 years, it seems. Why? What have we done to deserve such things?
Well, at least we're not
so terrible.
I mean, it could be worse. We could be Akron.
I suppose so, but that's not going to make me feel much better.
Probably not.
Colorado defense. Oh, sorry, they're not. They're giving up 204 yards a game, which is 124th in the country.
Yeah, but they're giving up almost 500 yards a game.
Yeah, they are. Rushing yards, passing yards. Yeah, it's 430 right here. If you add these two numbers up, they're at 430. How about Wyoming scoring 2.3 points a game in the first quarter? That's pretty solid. 123. Well, CU's not much better. They're scoring 3 points a game in the first quarter. So these stats are pretty interesting if you break these all down.
Wyoming's not good at anything.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, they are defensively. Like if you go here and you go defense, all right. So defense, 27th in the country in points allowed. Great.
Okay. Yeah.
30th in pass defense. It's pretty good. Rush defense, 95th, not great. Time on the field, really not there. That's an offensive problem, right? They face only 70 plays a game, which is good. Yards per play is 36 in the country. So, I mean, the recipe's there, right? It's just the offense has to be there.
Yeah, I was listening today to Cody's podcast. They brought up Caden needs to learn how to stay on his damn feet. Like him falling over when nobody's touched him is frustrating, and it's a drive killer.
I didn't notice that during the game, but I'll keep an eye out for it.
He just slips, or he does these weird dive forwards, and it's almost like he's running with his body like this. He's not just running naturally. He's trying to force it, and he's just dumping himself over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wasn't that a missed first down at one point last week where he kind of tripped forward and came down before the marker, and I think we ended up punting or something, didn't we? I don't know. Or no.
Yeah.
We tried to go for it and I got penalized, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, sure.
I don't know.
That might have happened.
And then he took a 15-yard sack and that dude never touched him. That sack that Geiger olayed the guy. Caden got away and then just falls over. I was like, what are you doing?
Well, yeah, because he was
your
spinning.
feet, man. And if your cleats
spinning in circles.
If your cleats suck, get different cleats on. Go change your cleats. Do something. But that's 3 games in a row where he's just fallen. He did it against UNI. He did it against Akron. You can't have that.
Yeah, and it's not like he's a small dude, right? I mean, he's a big guy. That shouldn't be happening. I don't know. Yeah, I just can't see a scenario. I mean, for you to think that Wyoming can win this game, they're going to have to play their best football of the season, and I just don't see that happening. I can't see it happening.
Well, to be
I
fair,
hope it happens, of course, but I just can't see it.
we haven't really seen them play a great game yet. I mean, the Northern Iowa game was lopsided for sure, but that was, not the best opponent. So,
Yeah.
maybe
No,
they'll
I
put
would-
us there like once.
If they can run the ball, I mean, they're going to be in it. And you clearly got 3 running backs to pick from and pick the hot hand.
Yeah.
Like Akron, Sam Scott was unstoppable, and now Tote Harris looked unstoppable against the Utah team.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be really
So-
interesting to see. I haven't watched a whole lot of CU not this season because I find them insufferable because they're just like, the media darlings of the world.
It's not
I'm kind of
bad.
interested to see how athletic they are this season because, I mean, they lost a lot of people, right? But the way they recruit, they don't have a whole lot of people staying for too long in Boulder. So I don't really know about their size and their speed, but it doesn't look good. I know Georgia Tech ran the ball down their throats. I don't know. You told me Delaware was passing the ball on them, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Houston, I didn't see the box score of that, but they must have ran the ball pretty well. I mean, obviously, if they're giving up 200 yards a game through 3 games, that's not good.
Rook Brown had an interception in that game, too.
There we go. So Wyoming's just got to, lean on the run, and then you got to do something different offensively. If your offensive line, I said this in the postgame, if your offensive line, your tackles especially, can't block, then why are you running 5 and 7 step drops, right? Makes no sense. That's where you can be like, okay, Jay Johnson, your offensive line can't block worth a darn. You need to be throwing slants, screens, whatever. The ball's got to be out of his hand to get some rhythm for Caden. And then maybe once you establish the running game, then you can do some deeper play action stuff. But I just don't understand how in this day and age, everybody can score points in college football on a year-to-year basis except for Wyoming and Iowa, I guess. It's Wyoming and Iowa.
Iowa does it with a lot more style, though.
Sure, yeah. I don't know about that.
With safeties and everything. So Houston
with
actually had an even game.
Okay.
They passed for 222 and rushed for 209. And
Houston?
they rushed the ball a lot, and only had 3.9 yards a carry.
Okay, yeah.
So
not a huge number there, sure.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. So that's what you
got to
really
force them to pass. Yeah, put them in passing downs.
Oh, you're talking about Colorado offense.
Put them in passing.
And we'll see, right? They're playing musical quarterbacks. What happens if Wyoming forces an interception early in the game, right? Gets a turnover. What does Coach Prime do then? Does he bench the quarterback? Right? So there's a lot of good questions.
Better not be any 3-man rushes this week because you got to put pressure on. You got to put pressure on him.
Pretty good run.
Salter
He can.
I'd keep him in the pocket as much as I can.
Yep.
He can run, but he also drops his eyes. So if you get him flustered, he will get away from his first read. So, and maybe put pressure on the outside and push him to the side you want. He's not a great thrower if he's throwing opposite. So, I mean, and somebody else on the wide receivers has to step up. I've heard about all those receivers, and it can't be the Chris Durr show. Somebody's got to step up in that room.
The Chris Durr show is pretty good, though.
Yeah,
it is. But Brantley not even diving for that pass. I wanted to punch my TV.
Yeah. Again, right? So that's why I say it's time for. I'm sick of talking about how great these guys are, and then the season comes, and then they don't do anything. Right? It's time to do something. Same thing like Jalen Sargent. Very interesting situation. End of last year looked like high quality wide receiver. This year he's on a milk carton because apparently he's not doing the right things. whatever that may be.
He showed up. There was a play that they mentioned, and I went back and looked at it. The strip sack, Sargent was wide open. I mean, wide open. But the offensive line didn't give. Caden was going to load up on him, and the offensive line doesn't give him. Caden asked for 3 seconds. Caden's getting about 1 second back there before he gets blasted.
Maybe. Yeah, there was a couple of those plays last week where, the safety just kind of showed up out of nowhere. Just like, hey, I'm here, and away he goes.
So it's going to be interesting. Maybe, I don't know. It's just hard. It just all starts up front. If you can't block, it doesn't really matter what play is called. People aren't going to execute. So it comes down to execution. And so I really want to see. Again, they're not making changes, right? So they're telling me that it's okay. That's how I view it. We're not hearing the media. There wasn't a specific question in either press conference about the offensive line, which I find absolutely crazy, right? Be like, hey, your offensive line isn't up to snuff. What's going on here? What is your evaluation of the offensive line?
Yeah.
I mean, easy question.
Caden Barnett's played extremely well. So.
He's the only one who hasn't had a game where he's just letting people run right by him without even touching him. Yep. So we should applaud him on the position change from tackle to guard. Yeah, he's been our best offensive lineman. And because you don't notice him, right? And that's what you want. I don't want to notice who's playing offensive line because it means that you're doing something bad. I just want to know that our quarterback has time in the pocket. But when you say every time you look up, and like you said, Shea, you saw a Utah defensive lineman in the backfield, and that Wyoming offensive lineman was on his butt. It happened like half the plays in the game.
Yeah. It's like they just accepted this guy's bigger than me. I'm just going to get pushed around. And that's frustrating. So.
Yeah, it's a good question, Dan. Like Fitzgerald, they talked about a lot in the summer, and I think he has 1 catch on the season.
Akron.
He's a big guy. Run him some slants for him. Run some short curl routes. I mean, again, I don't understand. You can't talk about how great all these people are, and then you don't see them. Just shut up and coach them. Same thing. How many tackles this year does Gary Rutherford have, Mr. Shea?
Oh, not much. But he's also been hurt. So.
Okay. Well,
I'll give them a pass because he had a knee injury, so he's coming back from it.
Okay. Well,
but Evan Eller, it doesn't. You got 2 linebackers that are just killing.
Yeah,
it right
Johnson
now,
and Eller are playing.
Gary. So Sibo Mana, that guy when he's on the field is good, but I would like to see Rutherford, especially if you're in running downs. You take Desmond Hearns out and you put Rutherford over there in that nickel spot and put some size on the field.
Yeah, that would make tons of sense. But yeah, I'm in show me. I don't want to hear about how good any of these people are. Get them on the field and let them make plays. And then we'll see. So we'll see here. I mean, yeah, I can't see a scenario based off what I've seen for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think Wyoming has the ability, but Wyoming's offensive line hasn't shown me that it can do it in a sustained manner.
Yeah.
So I will say we haven't seen a Laramie Lane sponsored snap this year, knock on wood. So I'm happy about that.
That's good. Yeah, that's true. That is a positive.
So at least the timing of the play isn't getting killed before the play even starts.
No, it happens just a couple seconds after when the defensive end's coming free on a quarterback from his blind side. Yeah.
See, they cleaned up one thing in the offseason, so we got that going for us.
So, yeah, it's just Shea. That happens from time to time with him.
Bye, Shea.
Goes away. He's back already. He just wanted you to be up on top.
Yeah, I want to.
We're playing some
the
Hollywood
offensive
squares.
line played so well. Yeah, the offensive line played so well at the end of the season last year, and maybe they're waiting for. They talked about one kid, but I saw him in street clothes a game on the offensive line, so they must be redshirting him because of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
But then you had that Malaki kid, the dash last name. He played really well, I thought, last year, and he was hurt. So maybe when these guys start coming back from injury, hey, we're going to start. You're not up to snuff, Geiger. We know Davies. We know what he's capable of, and if at least he's getting a hand on a guy and changing his direction, you start seeing some changes on the offensive line.
Yeah, another news note that I forgot to mention is that DeBlanc, I guess, is going to take a red shirt this year. They're going to play him in just 4 games. I think he played in the first 2. Didn't play in the 3rd game, and that was by design. They're going to kind of mix and match, find spots for him to play 2 more, and then redshirt him. And that was a decision made by both the player and Coach Savell, apparently.
It was smart. If you heard Jay's reasoning, I liked it. Where you'd have these guys in the past, and you're like, man, we wish we had him for one more year. You look at his freshman year, and he's played 59 snaps, for a whole season. You're like, well, that's a waste.
Sure. It's fine. I have no problem with it.
Now, if a wide receiver gets hurt, then we may see him. Like if Eric Richardson gets hurt.
Exactly. And that's what Savell said, that if somebody gets hurt, then they'll put him out there. But again, he's a true freshman. Again, if he's one of your best players, then just play him. Right? So that's where I'm at, especially. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, yes, you don't want to waste a year, but 90% of the time, you're just going to be saving an extra year for them at another school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation.
I just can't believe more coaches don't want to adopt that philosophy is, if they, play, if you've got talented players that can play now, play them now. Like the way college football is now, you can be gone by the midseason. You can be gone at the end of the season. We don't really know. Like, you got good players playing.
Because you don't know. I mean, we said a whole lot of things, right? So let's actually, I would like to do, I had this as an idea, and I think Shea will like this. Shea, how about a brand new segment that we will do from time to time when it's warranted? And I know you'll like it. How about this segment called When the Transfer Portal Goes Wrong? Who is your transfer player going wrong player of the week?
Ooh,
for Wyoming?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll go
easy. Come on.
That's Mike Fitzgerald.
No.
The wide receiver.
I'm talking about the opposite way.
Yeah.
The opposite.
What do you mean?
Someone who left.
It's Harrison Whaley. That's the answer.
Yes, Harrison Whaley. Yeah.
Harrison Whaley. Yes. Harrison Whaley took some money to go to UVA because, you know what, this Wyoming, I'm too good for Wyoming. I'm going to get paid. I'm going to go play in the ACC. And what has happened to old Harrison Whaley?
4th string. Well, now I got bashed on the board because he put up big numbers against, check your notes, William and Mary.
Oh, did he?
Good old Bill and Mary.
But
are they like a D2 school?
I mean, but look at Justin Stevens. No, they're FC. They used to be.
FCS.
This is the best part. This is the best story about that school.
Okay.
Mike London was there, beat UVA when he was a coach there, went to UVA, got fired, and now he's back at William and Mary.
Really?
Well, Mike London also had a stop at Richmond too.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a good FCS coach. He's already turned.
What happened to Richmond?
William and Mary's 10 minutes.
They're FBS now, aren't they? No.
Still FCS.
No. Oh, I thought they were. Mm-hmm. I thought they moved up.
Okay. What killed it is the Colonial Athletic Conference used to be the best FCS conference in football. Hands down was the best. You had Old Dominion. Calm down, Brad. I know you're stuck up there. Whatever.
Old Dominion was only around for like 2 years.
Brad's like, it's the Big Sky or the Missouri Valley.
And they had Taylor Heineke.
They did.
They stuck around FCS long enough to like launch their program and move right away.
Uh-oh. Did we lose
Shea? With JMU, but JMU was in the conference. Richmond was in the conference. Villanova. They used to be good. I watched the Taylor Heineke 700-yard game.
That was a crazy game.
For sure.
Against New Hampshire.
So,
However,
yeah.
Whaley does have 4 touchdowns on the season. So they've been stuffing him in at the goal line, it looks like.
Okay. That's something. Goal line back.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter. But Justin Stevenson hasn't done anything at Utah either.
Well, that's true. I forgot he went there. Yeah.
Keone Parks hasn't done anything at Houston.
Yeah.
Those guys transferred and see ya.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was it?
So.
I think I texted you guys this, but the guy that left for NC State, the defensive player.
Oh, Sebastian Harsh.
Yeah, Harsh got ejected last week in his game for targeting.
Nice.
It was a really soft targeting call. Like that probably shouldn't have been targeting, but
But he didn't target Dickard on the sideline.
Jeez.
Tried and missed.
All right, let's get back on to CU here. We'll wrap up the show. Let's actually do scores because that's always fun to see who will make a fool of themselves. You can play along at home. Brad is volunteering to go first, it looks like.
Oh, no, I thought you said make a fool of themselves. And
yeah,
it's like, yeah, it's going to be this guy.
Okay.
Well, probably Shea. He says a lot of reckless things too, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This game could very easily be like 20-17. I don't really know which way that 20 or 17 is going to go, but I think that this looks like a 20-17 game.
Okay.
Awfully bold of me to assume that we will score 17 or 20, but
that's a lot of points.
We would be doubling our offensive output for at least 2 games this season. So, yeah, so it could be 20, it could be 17. If we can get to either of those, I think that'd be a good start.
I don't know. Sold out game, Boulder, late night. I'll probably go CU 40, Wyoming 13. And I think the 40 comes late. Like, Wyoming's defense is just going to be left on the field. So it'll be like something you're like, oh, Wyoming's got a chance. And all of a sudden it'll be 40-13.
Yeah. Similar to the Utah game then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming in. I'm going to come in like 30-10 in favor of the Buffs.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, it's close for.
We're kind of in it, but then the offense can't move the ball, and then at some point their speed and size will just do its in because the defense will be out there for half the game.
I mean, they didn't even put up. Well, they only put up 31 on Delaware. Delaware's not very good.
Yeah,
transitioning team.
Well, I think 30 is fair. It could happen, and I think it will be late. It'll be circumstantial type of stuff, to where maybe we fumble and throw a pick, give them a couple short fields, they score some late.
That's my concern. Time. Now we're going to see some forcing. Guys are starting to panic a little bit, I think. Now we start seeing some forcing of throws, and now he's off his Caden's been off his back foot, like back foot Nicolosi at CSU. He's got to step into those throws, or we're going to be just like CSU with a quarterback that's good, but his mechanics start going to crap because he starts getting happy feet.
Yeah, the back foot was a huge problem last week. I noticed it on a ton of throws, just constantly.
Yeah, you don't have Josh Allen arm strength. You got to step into that, bud.
Not many people do.
Yeah.
So 8 o'clock Mountain Time, ESPN, Cowboys at Buffs. I have no idea who's going to be on the call. Should be a pretty good crew.
It's Dave Fleming, the Brocket launcher, and my future ex-wife, Stormy.
Whoa, like Brock? Like the Brocket launcher?
The Brocket launcher.
Oh, man, that would be fun. He's actually pretty good. Fleming's okay.
Yeah, it's their Saturday night crew.
I think Brock is a pretty good color analyst. I like him.
Surprisingly. He's like one of the richest guys in Flathead County now, too.
Yes, I know. You mention that every time. I think you're very envious of the Brock.
It's just very wild to me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When you get paid, what was it? $80 million to not play quarterback by the Houston Texans, that's a pretty good gig.
I think he took a pretty good amount of money off the Browns too.
Did he? Okay, I don't remember.
Backup
Should have been a
quarterback
backup NFL. Yeah, would have been it.
Although I read an interesting article in the Athletic this week about the backup quarterback life and how like it's not really that glamorous and blah blah blah. Like you put in like you're doing as much work as the quarterback is, and even like weirder things than that. And it's like I don't know, man. It still seems pretty good.
Yeah, it's better than working 9 to 5 like us schmucks. I'll tell you that.
It's terrible.
So yeah, folks. So we will be back Saturday night. It'll be a late one, of course. I mean, it'll be like 11 p.m. Mountain Time post game show.
Asleep.
Shea will be asleep. Brad will make sure he's up.
I'll be awake.
He'll be awake. He'll join me.
We'll
Stevens might too.
We'll see if I can keep the wheels on after the game this week. Kind of fell off last week.
Yeah.
As Chad's texting me, hey, you gonna be home for the live stream? As I just had another beer brought to my table.
Yeah, as I get a picture of us, a picture of a beer. No. I was like, okay, that answers that question.
Look, man, Old Chicago is the post game place to be around Missoula.
Dan's asking, what do we have to lose by putting Sims in and can't Caden settle down? Yeah, I don't know. You don't want to get into that game.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's not like last year where it's glaring. We're not there yet.
Yeah, but we could get there.
Caden hasn't played himself out of a job is the problem. There's
many
other problems to fix before Caden is the problem.
Correct.
So, and if those problems get fixed, then Caden's probably not a problem anyway. So
true. Yeah. The problem is, we'll just leave it on this, right? Is the problem is if you don't fix this, you may ruin the guy for the rest of his career because he's going to be seeing ghosts everywhere. Right? So that's what you got to worry about. Fix the offensive line. Dang it.
Which is so wild because that's rarely been a problem for us.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again. Enjoy the rest of your week and tune in here to this channel immediately after the game for the post-game show. We will break it all down, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So until then, for Brad Reed and Shea Foster, I'm Chad Smith. We'll catch you next time on the WyoNation Roundup.